Terima kasih. Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Seri Anwar bin Ibrahim, Prime Minister of Malaysia, Your Excellency Li Qiang, Premier of the State Council of the People's Republic of China, His Excellency Mr. Pham Minh Chinh, Prime Minister of Vietnam, Your Highnesses, Your Excellencies, and distinguished guests from ASEAN, the Gulf Cooperation Council, China, and Timor-Leste. So honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, or good evening, Wan Shang Hao, and Masa al-Khair to all of you. So it is an honor and a privilege for me to welcome you to the opening ceremony of the ASEAN-GCC China Economic Forum, held in conjunction with the ASEAN-GCC China Summit. This occasion marks an historic confluence of three dynamic economies, all committed to advancing peace, prosperity, and sustainable growth. Malaysia is hosting this inaugural gathering under the spirit of our 2025 ASEAN Chairmanship theme, inclusivity and sustainability. This reflects our aspiration and commitment to fostering meaningful collaboration, mutual respect, and balanced development through regional partnerships. This forum reflects a shared recognition of the growing interdependence between ASEAN, the GCC, and China. So together, our economies represent $24 trillion of GDP, or roughly 23% of global GDP. We also represent over 1/3 of the world's population, a substantial share of global trade, and a common interest in promoting resilient, rules-based economic integration. So, Excellencies, this platform is a dynamic meeting of minds for policymakers, business leaders, and global investors. We have a presence of many Fortune 500 CEOs and captains of industry, and it sends a clear signal to the world that multilateral economic cooperation is not only alive, but is also thriving. It reflects our shared commitment to unlock opportunities in trade, investment, energy transition, digital innovation, and sustainable development. So through this forum, let us translate our political goodwill into tangible economic outcomes that uplift businesses and SMEs, empower our people, as well as safeguard our collective future and environment. So on that note, I once again extend a warm selamat datang or welcome to all our distinguished guests to Malaysia, and may our engagement via this forum contribute impactfully to our future shared prosperity. So terima kasih, thank you all, syukran lakum jamian, and Shusha Dajia.
Thank you to the Minister of Investment, Trade and Industry, Malaysia.
是的，感谢马来西亚投资贸易及工业部长。
We now invite the Honourable Datuk Seri Anwar bin Ibrahim, Prime Minister of Malaysia, to deliver his remarks.
接下来有请马来西亚首相拿督斯里安华致辞。
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. A rare honor to welcome all of you to Kuala Lumpur, the Fortune ASEAN-GCC China Economic Forum. This is held in conjunction with the 46th ASEAN Summit and the inaugural ASEAN-GCC China Summit. So I thank Premier Li Qiang, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh, Deputy Prime Minister, and all those present. It is a wonderful evening. Testimony to the Malaysian position and ASEAN's position of centrality of effective engagement, of focusing on economic fundamentals, and ensuring that we do whatever is necessary to promote growth in our country, in our region, and in the international community. So I think I am rather excited this evening because, as Premier Li Qiang and Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh is aware, we have had an extremely successful meeting. The leaders of ASEAN decided and clearly the vision and now tested to resolve all issues, including what was perceived to be a rather contentious one. But we decided that what is important is a cohesive, strong, independent, and fiercely independent ASEAN that would confirm our position of centrality, that would decide to act, to protect our interests and to promote economy. That's why we decided to pursue the program with the GCC. GCC, as I've said repeatedly in the deliberation this morning, happens to be the dynamo in the Middle East. The resilience is unprecedented, focusing on the strength that they have, energy, and embarking on an extremely courageous venture, new technology, digitalization, and AI. I salute those who are from GCC who has decided to join us in this venture and work together as a new formidable team. And now we have China. Why China, Premier Li Qiang? Because China is an important neighbor of ours. Because China has shown that they are prepared to work for peace and development of the region and the world. And because China have taken a position to promote strongly peace and security in this region. And that's why China, to my mind, is pivotal, plus the fact that China has proved without doubt the capacity to effect change in the economy, in technology, in their attempt to showcase to the world that united we stand and we focus on what is important to humanity at large, that is justice, fairness to one and to all. So thank you, 谢谢各位. So I'm not giving a speech because we can listen to Premier Li Qiang after this, because we have long drawn meetings for the last 2 days, and virtually I've said what I wanted, but more pertinent, I tell you, we, ASEAN and GCC and China could agree to present a joint statement to give broad parameters what good governance is all about, what clarity of economic policies is all about, and what championing the rights and the welfare of our ordinary citizens is all about. So I salute all our leaders of ASEAN, GCC, and China. We have proven that it could be done. Some, I tell you, are very contentious issues. We debated for 2 days and night. And finally, we are able to resolve. Thank you, my son and his team, the Foreign Ministry. They had to work very hard. We just read out the statement. So, Premier Li Qiang, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh, and friends, we have done our part. The political leadership has assured you of stability, have driven a policy that is attractive to investments, the clarity of policy that promote new technology, that would say that we will do whatever is necessary to promote investments and make our countries attractive to investments. Now, it is now that we have finished our session at 6:30 today, the ball is in your foot. The business community, the corporate players, the captains of industry have then to seize the moment and do what is necessary, because we have given our support, policies, there's clarity of policies. Now you need to ensure that we benefit from this clear, resounding position of the political leadership and clarity of economic policies. So I look forward to this Fortune ASEAN-GCC China Economic Summit, because we want to see results, and it is your duty now to act and ensure that our countries benefit from one another. So much synergy, so much collaboration required, and so much hope to fulfill the aspirations of our countries. Thank you. Sese wa shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to Premier Alvaro for his enthusiastic support just now. I am also very happy to be able to gather with you in Kuala Lumpur to attend the opening ceremony of the 3 economic forums of the East China Sea Association. Premier Alvaro has just said that the summit of the East China Sea Association was successfully held today. We have agreed to strengthen our partnership. This also opens a new chapter in our cooperation. At today's meeting, the leaders of each country discussed in depth the topic of sharing opportunities and sharing prosperity. People generally think that the current global political and economic structure is undergoing profound and complex changes. The development of each country is facing a new challenge. In a sense, the opportunities for development are more scarce and more precious. Therefore, at this time, our strengthening cooperation seems to be more urgent and needs to be seen from a distance. I feel that today's discussion is particularly meaningful. We should expand the scope of the summit to include all aspects of the communist world, and therefore to build wisdom and consensus on a larger scale. I would like to use this opportunity to share my 3 views with you. First, in the context of today's times, we can jointly respond to the challenges by creating opportunities. The current global economic situation is facing unprecedented challenges. The values of peace and development, cooperation and sharing, which we have held for a long time, are facing serious challenges. We will jointly respond to these issues and bring important opportunities to both countries. In the face of geopolitical conflicts and confrontation, we must insist on deepening rejuvenation and promoting unity. Only in this way can we create long-term strategic opportunities. In the past few decades, the rapid development of our Asia has also deeply inspired us. Unity and rejuvenation, peace and stability can bring prosperity and prosperity. All countries are connected by fate. If there is a lack of prosperity, conflicts will escalate, and cooperation will be impossible. On the contrary, strengthening unity and prosperity can support each other strategically, which can bring greater scope and sustainable high-level economic cooperation. In the future, we will continue to work together to achieve long-term and stable development. In the face of prosperity and unilateralism, which are now rising in some places, we must insist on expanding and opening up and eliminating barriers. Only in this way can we create wider market opportunities. The East China Sea and the United Arab Emirates are all beneficiaries of global economic globalization. We have also gained great development opportunities in the integration market. Our three-way market will form one of the world's largest regional markets. We can also demonstrate the benefits of cooperation so that we can achieve a richer share of benefits in the integrated market. Now we are facing the struggle of decoupling and strengthening. We must insist on sharing resources and complementing each other. Only in this way can we create more opportunities for transformation and upgrading. We know that the resources of each country are different in terms of wealth and industrial structure. By actively participating in international industrial cooperation, we can use our own advantages to benefit other countries and other enterprises and develop ourselves. Only in this way can we achieve the optimization of resources and enhance the efficiency of industry in each country and the momentum of continuous development. I think the second point is that the friendly cooperation between China, the East China Sea, and the United Arab Emirates is very smooth. The future is more promising. Since the first fleet of Chinese ships arrived in the Middle East more than 2,000 years ago, and the first fleet arrived in Nanyang, the economic and trade relations between China and the United Arab Emirates have lasted for more than 20 centuries. The relationship between China and the United Arab Emirates has always been strong. Standing on the historical foundation, the three of us continue to build new glory. We will have more space for development. Today, when we held the summit, everyone said that China, the East China Sea, and the United Arab Emirates combined the total population and economic scale to account for about 1/4 of the world's population. But let's take another account. The current trade volume of China and the United Arab Emirates is only 5.4% of the world's trade volume. This means that there is a lot of potential and a lot of space. This is a turning point for us to strengthen cooperation and accelerate development in the future. I believe that as the bilateral cooperation continues to deepen, trade and investment will continue to grow. This will help promote the development of the three countries and the growth of our companies. This will give us more space for development. In addition, we will have a higher level of economic efficiency. And the cooperation between China and the U.S. First of all, from the perspective of development, China's economy has been recovering well since this year. Although we have been affected by many uncertain factors in the first quarter, our economic growth rate is still 5.4%. It is not easy for an economy of 1.35 trillion yuan to grow by 5.4%. Among the major economies in the world, our growth rate is among the top. In particular, China's industry has maintained a strong momentum of development. Before I came to Malaysia this time, I read a report on the situation. I am very happy to tell you that from January to April, China's return on investment increased by 6.4%. Our foreign trade exports have maintained their momentum under external pressure. From January to April, our export growth rate increased by 7.4%, and the momentum of our development continues to grow. From April to April, the value of high-tech manufacturing increased by 9.8%. The investment of high-tech services increased by 11.3%. In particular, everyone is concerned about the development of new energy vehicles in China. From January to April, the capacity and sales of new energy vehicles have exceeded 4 million cars. The most important part of new energy vehicles is not yet complete. It uses electricity for energy. More importantly, it is a smart energy vehicle. It is a large-scale smart terminal. It can drive a lot of new technologies to develop rapidly and accelerate applications. China's smart factories now cover more than 80% of the manufacturing industry. What I want to say is that China's achievements today show the great stability of the Chinese economy. We are willing to strengthen cooperation with the Eastern and South China Seas. We are also willing to share our experience and lessons in development. As President Xi Jinping pointed out, China's economy is a sea, not a small pond. This sea can withstand strong winds and heavy rains. We will only be more tolerant and open after each storm. I would also like to explain China's macro policy. In the face of the risks posed by the external environment, the Chinese government has clearly proposed a more active macro policy this year. We will implement a more active fiscal policy and moderate monetary policy. This year, our fiscal spending scale will hit a new high. In addition, our monetary and financial capacity will increase significantly. This will provide a strong support for the expansion of social needs. In the next step, the Chinese government will continue to increase the adjustment of the negative cycle according to the changing situation. I would like to say that no matter what challenges we face in the future, the Chinese government and the Chinese people have the ability and confidence to maintain China's economy. I would also like to talk about China's economy from a strategic point of view. China's economy is a large-scale economy. The domestic demand is aging, and the internal circulation is a unique advantage of our large-scale economy. We will focus more on expanding domestic demand and strengthening domestic circulation. We will continue to increase the internal driving force of the Chinese economy. We are accelerating the expansion of domestic demand strategy, and we will launch a special action to increase consumption. We will focus more on the consumption sector. This will show a huge potential for demand. We will further deepen the reform and accelerate the transformation of high-end, intelligent, and green industries in China. This will also create more new demand. China's economy can provide a huge market for high-quality products in various countries. We will continue to expand the high-level open market and launch more self-sufficient and single-sided measures. Today, I also announced 2 specific measures for the East China Sea Treaty. We will promote domestic and international double circulation and share China's development opportunities with the East China Sea Treaty countries. Ladies and gentlemen, cooperation is the only correct answer to the common challenge. China is willing to work with the East China Sea Treaty countries to promote economic stability and growth and share the opportunities of communism and prosperity. Thank you.